Have you ever looked at your bank account at the end of the month and wondered where all the money went? You work hard 40 or 50 hours every single week, and your income is actually pretty decent. Yet despite your best efforts to save and be responsible, you feel like you are just running in place on a financial treadmill. The truth is that for most of us, the problem isn't that we are not earning enough money. The problem is that our financial ship is full of tiny invisible holes that are slowly sinking us. We are talking about thousands of dollars every year vanishing into thin air without you even noticing it. These are what I call the 7 hidden money leaks, and they are specifically designed by modern society to bleed you dry. By the time we reach the 7th minute of this video, I'm going to reveal the single biggest leak that most people actually think is a smart investment. But first, we need to understand why this is happening to you in the first place. You see, we live in a world that is engineered to make spending money as effortless and invisible as possible. Between one-click purchases and automatic billing, the physical sensation of losing money has been completely removed from our daily lives. This leads to something called lifestyle inflation, where your expenses rise just as fast as your income, or sometimes even faster. It is a systematic trap, and if you are feeling stressed about your finances right now, I want you to know that it is not entirely your fault. You are simply navigating a system that was built to benefit everyone except you. But today, we are going to take that power back and plug those holes for good. Let's start with the first and perhaps the sneakiest leak of them all, which is what I call the subscription vampires. These are those small recurring charges for services you either forgot about or barely use anymore. Think about that free trial for a meditation app you signed up for 6 months ago and used twice. Or that premium streaming service you bought just to watch one specific show. Individually, $10 or $15 a month doesn't trigger any alarms when you glance at your bank statement. But when you stack 5 or 6 of these vampires together, you are looking at over $1,000 a year being sucked out of your pocket for zero value. Research shows that the average person is paying for at least 3 subscriptions they have completely forgotten about. The strategy here is simple, but requires you to be a bit of a detective. Go through your statements for the last 3 months and identify every single recurring charge. If you haven't used a service in the past 30 days, you need to cancel it immediately. Don't tell yourself you might use it later, because that is exactly what the companies are counting on. Now let's move on to the second major leak, which involves one of the biggest hidden expenses for the middle class. I am talking about the car depreciation trap. A brand new car can lose about 20% of its total value the very moment you drive it off the dealership lot. Within 5 years, that same vehicle might be worth 60% less than what you paid for it. Imagine taking $20,000 and literally setting it on fire just for the smell of a new car interior. Middle-class millionaires understand this math, and they sidestep this wealth drain almost entirely. They choose reliable and lightly used vehicles that have already gone through their steepest depreciation curve. Think of 2 neighbors named Alex and Sam. Alex buys a brand new $30,000 sedan and sees his net worth drop by $6,000 instantly. Sam finds the exact same model but 2 years older for $20,000. Sam's monthly payment is $300 lower, which frees up $3,600 a year to be invested instead of watching it evaporate. The rule of thumb for stealth wealth is to keep your total vehicle value under 5% of your annual take-home pay. Your car should be a tool for transportation and not a status symbol that keeps you broke. The third leak is the convenience tax, which has exploded in recent years. We live in an age of instant gratification where food delivery apps like DoorDash make it feel like getting a meal is free. But once you add up the delivery fees and the service charges and the inflated menu prices, you are often paying 50% more than the meal actually costs. This also applies to those daily $5 coffee runs and impulse snacks at the gas station. If you spend just $10 a day on these small conveniences, that adds up to over $3,600 every single year. That is enough money to fund a world-class vacation or make a massive dent in your mortgage. The fourth leak is one of the most brilliant psychological traps ever created, which is the sale trap. Retailers have spent decades mastering the art of making you feel like you are saving money while you are actually spending it. You see a clearance rack with a sign that says 50% off, and your brain immediately starts justifying a purchase you didn't even want 5 minutes ago. You tell yourself you are saving $50, but the reality is that you are losing $50 on something that will likely sit in your closet with the tag still on it. A bargain is only a bargain if you were already planning to buy that item at full price. If the only reason you are buying it is the discount, then you are not a savvy shopper and you are a victim of a marketing department. The fifth leak is something that almost everyone ignores because it feels like a hassle, which is insurance inertia. Most people pay their car and home insurance premiums year after year without ever checking if there is a better deal. Insurance companies count on your laziness, and they gradually increase your rates over time while offering lower prices to attract new customers. Spending just 30 minutes once a year to compare rates can often save you between $500 and $1,000 annually. That is an hourly rate of $2,000 for your time. If you aren't doing this, you are essentially leaving a pile of cash on the table for the insurance company to keep. The sixth leak is the most dangerous one of all, and I call it the interest monster. Right now, credit card interest rates are at their highest point in over 20 years, with many averaging around 24%. If you carry a balance on your credit cards, you are not just paying for what you bought. You are paying a penalty that grows exponentially and actively destroys your future wealth. If you have a $5,000 balance and only make the minimum payments, you will end up paying over $13,000 total, and it will take you 30 years to be free. That is 30 years of your life energy being siphoned off to make a bank richer. You must attack high-interest debt with the same intensity you would use to put out a fire in your living room. Finally, we come to the seventh leak, and it is the one I promised earlier, which is social obligation spending. This is the money we spend on gifts and weddings and parties and dinners just because we feel like we have to. We are so afraid of looking cheap or being left out that we spend money we don't have to impress people who aren't even paying attention. The middle-class millionaire knows how to say no with grace. They understand that true friends don't care about the price of a gift and that your financial security is more important than a temporary social trend. So how do we fix all of this and start building your phalanx of wealth? The first step is the 70% rule. Commit to living on just 70% of your take-home pay and let the remaining 30% become your wealth-building engine. The second step is automation. You need to pay yourself first by setting up an automatic transfer to your savings or investment accounts the very day you get paid. If you never see the money in your checking account, you won't be tempted to spend it on any of these leaks. The third step is a weekly 10-minute review. Sit down every Sunday and look at every dollar that went out of your account. This simple habit of awareness is the ultimate weapon against the invisible holes in your financial ship. Building real wealth is not about being a financial monk or never enjoying your life. It is about being the master of your money instead of its slave. Every dollar you save from a subscription vampire or a car depreciation trap is a soldier working for your future freedom. When you plug these leaks, you aren't just saving money, and you are buying back your time and your peace of mind. Imagine waking up every morning knowing that you are in total control and that your net worth is growing even while you sleep. That is the power of the stealth wealth builder mindset. If you found value in this breakdown, I want to ask you a question. Which of these 7 leaks do you think is your biggest struggle right now? Is it the interest monster or maybe those sneaky subscription vampires? Leave a comment below and let's start a conversation about how we can help each other reach financial freedom. If you are serious about taking control of your money, one habit at a time, then make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell. We have a lot more deep dives coming your way to help you build the life you actually deserve. Remember that wealth is not about how much you make, but how much you keep. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video.